Hold the 4 and 5 seed, Utah and Clippers. Who you guys got?
On paper, they're identically. They're just like they're basically the same team in terms of standings. Like he brought up earlier, like in terms of standings, they're the same team. They have the same road and home record. They got the same record against their own conference. Like on paper, they're the same team. But I think Utah takes it in 6, and it's because they have the size down low to stop Blake and DeAndre. Also, I don't believe George Hill was playing in a lot of the games that they played against the Clippers. I think the Clippers won 3 out of the 4 in the series. I don't think George Hill played. George Hill's healthy now. George Hill's a defensive point guard. He shut Lowry down in the playoffs last year in that first round. I think he can shut Chris Paul down as well, just as easily. So, also, yesterday Gordon Hayward didn't play, and Utah got that win against Golden State.
Yeah.
So Gordon Hayward's going to be a big factor in that series. Nobody on that team can really guard him. It's not going to be JJ Redick. It's not going to be Jamal Crawford. I think Mbah Mute's too slow. So I think Utah got the right pieces to beat the Clippers in the playoffs.
I've said this about the Clippers for years. They're a team that, on paper, they should win a champ. They should be contending. They should be in the conference finals every year, and they never put it together. And this year will be no different. They're not going to put it together, in my opinion. And this one, it won't be in short order. I think it will go to 7. Honestly, if Game 7 is in LA, it could swing either way. I think if it's in Utah, I'm going with Utah definitely. But my pick's going to be Utah, and this is why. Honestly, I look at Utah. I look at Gordon Hayward. I look at the Alec Brooks, the Rodney Hoods. I look at those guys, the guys that could come off the bench and make a difference. And honestly, what I see out of JJ Redick, I think Austin Rivers just got hurt or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't see LA even bothering. You know what I mean? Giving them matchup problems. I think Chris Paul, you know what you're gonna get. One of the best point guards he creates. But if you have a guy who's sitting there, DeAndre Jordan's not a good post player. He's good because he's under the rim. From fucking 5 feet under, he's amazing. But when you have a guy like Gobert against Jordan, I'd rather have Gobert, honestly. That's just my opinion. I have Gobert in that matchup. If you have Blake Griffin against, who is it? Their favorites they have down there?
Mm-hmm.
Boris Diaw starts, but
Boris Diaw starts for them?
yeah.
I mean, I go Blake Griffin, no doubt about that. But I like what Boris Diaw could bring to the game. Remember, he's not a guy who's going to sit there and try to. He's not going to try to go 1-on-1 with Blake Griffin. He's going to try to pass. He's going to try to create. And that's what he got from. That's what you seen when he was in Charlotte, when he was in San Antonio.
Yeah.
He's kind of a team first kind of guy, trying to help other guys. So honestly, I think this is easy. This is an easy win for the Jazz. Honestly, even though to go 7, I think it'll be one of the series where they're never going to feel like they're really out. They're really out of it. And I think on the opposite side, the Clippers are going to feel like they're out of it. I think the Clippers do realize that they have a problem.
Outside of Boris Diaw, I don't believe anybody in that starting 5 has made the playoffs in their career before. And most of the team's pretty young. So this is their first playoff experience together as well. So
that's true.
Even if Boris Diaw brings that championship pedigree to the team, they don't really have many other players. They have Joe Johnson, yeah. And I think he'll be a big X factor too.
George Hill.
George Hill, yeah, my bad. That's my fault. I forgot about George Hill, but
the majority of them, they're new to playoffs, so the majority of the team, I think.
Yeah, most of them they haven't ever been Gordon Hayward, who in my opinion is the best player, and even if he's not their best, Rudy Gobert. Both of those two guys, they haven't made the playoffs yet in their career, and so that'll be a big step to them. Especially that first game. They're going to be nervous. They're going to be shaky. Going to be missing shots that they usually make. Rudy might make a couple mistakes here and there. Sure. Quinn Snyder, I believe this is his first head coaching playoff spot that he's been in.
Mm-hmm.
So him as well, he might make a few mistakes on different play calls and things like that. It's a nerve-wracking thing. It's you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs.
That's a good point.
The reason why I think it's going to be easy for the Jazz, even though I think we can confuse easy in 7 games. Honestly, it's because I feel like the Jazz are a free team. They're not really. They kind of play team basketball and defense oriented. And I think when a team does that, and when it's not a guy, when you have one star and then you have to just rely on him, that's where I think it becomes easier as a team to kind of just go against the playoffs. I know when Toronto made it for the first time, DeRozan was telling everybody, yo, the game felt fast to me. There was no team around DeRozan to help him like that. So that's why I think there's a difference between a team that gets there with, oh, we have a superstar, so we got here, but now we don't have a team around him that's going to win in the playoffs. You know, Gordon Hayward's a star. I wouldn't go as far as a superstar. He's going to get paid like one, but I don't think he is. Gobert's good. I think he is a star in some ways. But they don't have a guy that everything runs through him. You know, they on one night it could be Gobert, it could be Hayward, it could be George Hill who gets the rock, it could be Hood, and so on and so forth. So I think if you play as a team, you play defensive basketball, and you look for the open shots and don't try to force shots, I think that's what makes it a smoother game compared to when you go to play Clippers, who Paul's going to facilitate. He's going to try to create for guys. But we've seen Blake Griffin force himself into games. If he's not feeling it on the night, he's going to keep going after it. You know what I mean? He's not going to try to be like, all right, I don't have it tonight. Let me see what else I can help with. DeAndre Jordan's never been a guy who could score 20 a game consistently. You know, he's shown signs, but you haven't seen it. JJ Redick can really only shoot at this point. I mean, I don't like him I'm telling him, yo, go inside, create, kick. I don't like that. Jamal Crawford off the bench is deadly. I will give them that. They do have a lethal weapon off the bench. I think even at 38 years old, I don't think they have a guy off the bench that's going to be able to contain a guy like that. But honestly, comparing teams, they're built the same way. They just do things a little different, and that's why I think it's the Jazz.